started looking into astrology, and I started looking into these things and going, okay, well, what's here? If we're all in this and we're connected, and we're not apart from nature, but we're a part of it, how is this all connected? And this was now becoming the film brain of mine going, how does the story connect? Because a good story doesn't, as much as you with cliffhangers, there's always they're going to bring you full circle to some extent. And then it started making me go, okay, well, now let's look at the zodiac, right? And this is where it started taking me down these paths, and I was then going like, okay, there's something here. And then sure enough, like on this journey, I started putting pieces together and now looking at, well, what are the things in our body called, right? Like, what's the name of the bones? What's the name of the muscle? What's the name of these things? And how does it relate? And one of the biggest revelations I had in talking about the zodiac was, if you look at the bottom of your foot, okay, what is the bottom of your foot? What's it called? It's called the sole of your foot. Okay, well, what is soul? It's sun. Okay, so, el sol in Spanish, it's so it's like, okay, well, why is then the bottom of our foot called the sole, or your soul? So you're starting to see these things start to come together. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then why is the back of our foot, the heel, why is it called the heel, hell, or heel? These are all the same words. And then why is it that your big toe is called the hallux bone, which literally translates to hail, like breath, lux, breath of light? Why is that? Why is it that the ball of your foot is called the ball? Why is it that you go through from the ball, through the hallux, through the ball, through your arch, into heel? This is the zodiac on your foot. If you break it down, and what happens when you go forward? When you're moving forward, you're springing forward. Spring. Vernal equinox. And then why is it that your feet, your other toes, are called your phalanges, which is just a phalanx, which is basically a troop, an army in a specific form. You ever seen Troy, the movie Troy? Remember when the arrows are coming and they all get behind the...
Yeah.
That's called the phalanx. So why is it that they're called the phalanges? And these are things that were starting to go into my mind of going, when you move through the foot the way you're intending to, the way we were designed, you're moving through the seasons. You're literally moving through the zodiac, the soul, the sun, going through its entire cycle through the seasons. But now to take it a step further, and I was looking into, and a friend, my good friend, you should definitely talk to him. His name's Rob. He does a podcast called Dig Within. He was like, dude, you got to talk to these guys from GOATA. And GOATA is a specific training company, stands for Greatest of All Time Actions. And what they do is they focus on sacred geometry. And they were talking about vortexes. And I was like, you got me. This goes back to the water talk about vortexes. And they're talking about, in the foot specifically, one of the things they talk about is when you're moving through that proper structure of the foot, you start to see that there's actually this rotation, that fourth, fifth toe on the ball of the foot, that's a pivot point. And when you hit that pivot point, you're actually working through not only just the muscles and the bones, but the way the connective tissue is designed, the way the actual, muscles and tendons run through the foot and just through the body. You're moving in the way that they're designed, and it's creating this natural vortex. And that's not a conspiracy. This is proven. Like, you just go look it up and watch also how you move. And when you can create that vortex, what you're now doing is just you're creating charge. And we know that, a lot of us know that vortex is what's creating what's created energy. It's what creates electricity, creates power. So just all these pieces were starting to come together. And I'm like, holy shit.